Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Toonkind D&D at 12 FPS. You are listening to Feather Falls Radio. Uh, and with me today, I have the wonderful, amazing author. Please introduce yourself.
I already have been a little bit, but I'm playing the TikTok Tiggin, also TOC. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, and I'll be playing the wonderful little radio-headed girl, Victrola. Um, this is a wonderful little girl. All right. So this today's FPS begins at Sunny Shores Apartments Complex. Um, seriously, I believe Triny gave you one of the little like his business cards at some point, and
They actually
with his ad.
probably have.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's up?
sorry.
No, go ahead.
They actually probably have a couple because while they were trying to find William, they picked up at least one, hoping it was William's, and then figuring out a few minutes later, no, wait, this is the other one. This is the wrong detective.
Understandable. Have a nice day. So, but yeah, on any one of those business cards, you would find Triny's actual address, which is where he does most of his work. And please tell me. Well, actually, the very beginning. Sorry, I'm so nervous. Okay.
You've got this. You've got this.
Um, Sunny Shores apartment complex is a pretty. It's middling of the road. It's about as middling as you can really get. Uh, it's pretty drab. There's not many colors to it. They got a little painting out front that just says like that has a like a little sun on top of it. But it's the paint has been dated for a while. And coming into the apartment complex in itself and taking the lift upwards, uh, following the instructions of where the apartment is, you'd find a door number. I never picked the door number. We'll do 14. That seems thematically appropriate. Sure. But yeah.
Yeah, TOC is first of all as a little, black hen with just a little bit of red on their design question mark. They're not used to being the most saturated thing in their environment. So sort of, walking around in the sea of like grays, maybe a little bit of beige, sort of that off color that white paint becomes as it gets super old.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Um,
a red carpet, but it's super worn, like down.
yeah. Um, they're sort of just like, um, okay. Like it's certainly they've stayed in worse places. Um, but this isn't the sort of place that they really pictured a person like Triny Ton being. So, I think they're definitely looking back at one of the business cards that they have out, both to check the address and also like I can still read today, right? Yes, I can. Okay, we're fine. Um, and they will stop outside number 14 and they will peck at the door to make a knocking sound.
Uh, Immediately upon you picking up on the door, you hear, uh, "One moment, coming up," and you hear a couple of ruffling from behind you, and then uh, the door opens to a tiny little tune, who you don't recognize. Well, actually, no, you would recognize it because you saw her on Tiny's TV screen.
Mm-hmm. I
Uh,
also saw her Shanghai Triny onto the cruise at the very beginning.
yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yes.
So uh, this little tune, I'm just gonna post a picture of her. Um, uh, this little tune walks up and is immediately not looking at you. Is in fact she has a little notebook in front of her and she's like writing into it and just saying like, "All right, good. Thank you for finally arriving. I believe Trini said that there's lunch in the fridge for later. Um, I have homework to get done, and yeah, feel free to uh uh sit down and do your usual thing. And immediately begins walking back in. And one moment. At this point, I'm gonna post the apartment pictures that I actually made.
Oh, just so you know, Jade, we've got a warning to wrap up by 11. So if this goes by 11, we might want to do a part 2.
Understandable. Have a nice day. That is perfectly fine.
Let's see here.
But yeah, you can
Yeah, all
see.
right.
Yeah. So you're entering from the little red carpet coming in from the side, and Victrola immediately turned around, walked forward, and then went immediately to the left towards a room on the left, not noticing that you were there.
Well, if she's not looking directly at TOC, she will not see the sign, "Oh, you must be Victrola. It's so nice to." Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. She wasn't expecting you.
I mean, the door is now open and they can step inside, I assume.
I mean, you got. She said to you can come in and do your own thing.
I mean, this is not in their limited experience how visiting people for the first time usually goes, but okay. Um, they will step in, uh, kind of looking around as if to look for signs that this might be some sort of trick. Um, and they'll probably like follow Victrola.
Okay. Well, she immediately turned left, and like, are you stepping into the room before she closes the door?
If she closes the door, they're not gonna like muscle in. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do was also, um, they're gonna roll insight on the, yeah, I've got homework to do, definitely homework.
Please do. Please do. I'm gonna have her roll deception.
Let's see, let me just make sure I have the right set, because I've been juggling character sheets lately.
Well, that's a 19. So
Okay.
that is
That's
if
also
it
a
meets if
19.
it meets it beats. You know she's telling a lie.
Mm-hmm. They know little kids, they know. They have known several children who were probably very much in the same archetype as Victrola, and they know that as an adult, there are things that uh they're just gonna have to put together from context.
Uh, but yeah, no, no. So you know Victrola is lying. By the way, the moment that you step inside, uh, how tall? TOC is about as big as an actual chicken, right?
A little bit larger at this point. It kind of varies from day to day, but yeah.
Understandable. Um, just taking a small look around the little place that you've entered. There's actually quite a lot of family pictures up top. You actually do see a couple of pictures of Triny, at varying different ages,
Oh,
uh, alongside a pair of people that you only saw in Triny's screen, and a couple of pictures of Victrola, and then one picture of a man with, or a tune with a TV with a camera for a head.
hmm. They kind of. Hey, does it look like the guy with the camera for a head took the pictures like standing in front of a mirror?
Oh no,
Like
a
he.
video camera. Like he has a like it's a picture of him. Like it's like an old timey like one of those like black and white or like brownish picture that's really worn. That's in set into
Aha.
one of those like oval frames.
Oh, okay. This
Yeah.
perhaps might be some sort of grandfather.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm. I think that they'll sort of take a moment and just kind of like take this in. Um, and they kind of like eye the door that Victrola disappeared behind. Um, guess they're babysitting now. They're gonna go look to see what Triny put in the fridge for lunch. And if it's not gonna be a good lunch, they're going to um oh, they do have a basket of like some small little kale leaves and stuff.
Oh,
Like it's very early, very tender sort of greens, like probably like the first crop. Um so like they sort of, they go back and they grab that from the hallway and then they close the door because you don't let strangers in.
mhm.
Um if the food that they find is not the food that they approve of, they're going to basically like see what they can do along with the greens that they brought to make something, good to eat.
Understandable. Here, I'm gonna roll first. I'm gonna roll survival for Triny and see if he made any good food. I think he has a +0 modifier, so it's just a 1d20. It's a 3.
That's a
Uh,
3. Kraft mac and cheese, but like several days old.
it's okay. Triny has been doing this for a while. I don't want to give him like really bad, but it's like it's PB and J. But you can tell like there's a stack of PB and J's. Like he's made a bunch. He maybe he doesn't know how to make anything else but PB and J's.
Oh, bless this boy. Uh, TUC sees that and they'll sigh and they're going to look to see what else they have. Is there any like shredded cheese? Are there any like is there any fruits and vegetables?
I am actually I'm gonna roll nature for or not nature. Would this be survival? What would this be? Triny, you're a nerd. I didn't think you'd be a bad, bad nerd about eating habits. Uh, I'm gonna say that he probably does. Like he does make other things, but it's like the bare essentials, like the very bare essentials.
Do they have grapes and apples?
Yes,
They will take an apple and a bunch of grapes and they will find wherever he keeps the knives. And they will basically they'll rip up the greens a little bit and put them in a big bowl and they'll add some slices of apple and some like halved grapes in there and just toss it up. They kind of look at the effect. Like it's not a great salad. They probably made better for Juniper like today, but also Juniper has actual groceries and not just an endless like pile of PB and J's.
I know. Oh,
So
understandable.
yeah, they're gonna they have made that now. So what time is it? Is it like lunchtime now or
I'd say like by the time you're done making the salad, it probably would be around lunchtime. Uh, Victrola hasn't come out of the room, but do roll me an insight check.
all right?
Oh,
23.
that's a 23. You hear it. Uh as there's a right before you like right after you're done with it and like it's about to be lunch, you do hear a one moment. I need to roll a 1d20 plus 6. It's an 11. It doesn't matter. It's a wall. You hear a best way to say is just like boom followed by oh no crap coming from the room.
They've got 30 feet of movement with a dash, that's 60 feet of movement. Um,
You don't even need that.
yeah, I think they just like kick open the door, like, okay.
The scene before you is so you can see trying like Victrola's room in there. It's got pretty nice wallpaper. She was sitting on her bed, and across from her on the wall is a like a burn mark.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she looks at the person who just busted into her room and just says, "Wait, you're not Miss Honeybottom. Are you the uh hello?"
TOC will sign, and you're not doing homework, and yet here we are. Come on, I just made a salad.
Uh, Victrola looks back at the burn stain on the wall, and then looks at TOC who's signing, and I'm actually gonna have her roll a history check because she might actually know who you are. Because Triny, this has been after the, well, so Triny may have given her told her who you might be, but not recognized you immediately.
Mm.
That's a 12.
And it's above it's above a 10. Like it might be sort of like something about a black bossy chicken. uh, Something. She might have like seen them in passing actually after depositing
Oh, you're
her
right.
brother on the ship.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, she would be like, "Wait, do I know you from somewhere?" And she's following you to the kitchen.
Mm. Uh PFC will finish dishing up the salad. Uh and they sort of like they put out one of the PB&Js but sort of far away so that she can ignore it if she wants. And they'll sign, I'm TOC. I'm a friend of your brother's.
Oh,
Uh,
wait! And Victrola will immediately like run out and run into Triny's room, and then come back out with like uh, a drawing of like a very crude drawing because Triny's not very good at drawing, but like of like cruise friends that says cruise friends at the top, and there's a drawing of you, William, and uh oh Lord, I'm blanking.
Jackie?
Yes.
TOC is delighted by this, actually. They are. Um, Vic can roll an insight if she wants, but they just kind of look at this and they just like grin to themselves, like, yeah, yeah, that's actually real nice.
It's a 13.
Yeah, she gets that. This chicken's mostly an open book. Um, like it's I love the fact that Vic is apparently better at reading TOC than her brother, a detective.
Look, okay. Triny's in at least Vic doesn't have anything to plus her insight. Like Triny actually does. It's just he's just not good. Okay, he's not good at his job. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh boy. Oh bud.
Wait, so what are you doing here though? Miss Honeybottom was supposed to come babysit me.
Um, TOC pulls out one of the business cards and says, well, I've been living in Toontown for a couple weeks now, so I wanted to come visit you all and hopefully see your brother. Um, Out of curiosity, just as sort of they pause their signing to think about what they're trying to say. Um, as an idle curiosity, are you just here by yourself? Like
It's a. I
no
mean,
adults?
okay. Triny usually like if a case comes up real quickly, he'll usually call up Miss Honeybottom who and tell her like, "Hey, can you come babysit me?" Actually, he has a couple of backups as well, though we haven't used them in a while. But he had a case to go off to, so I'm usually not here by myself. I'm usually either at school or my ballet classes, but today is one of my days off, so
Hmm. TFC nods. As Vic like talks to them, like they're they give her like their full attention. Like it's this is a very sort of grave chicken in general, and when she talks, like they're very careful to like focus on Victrola when she's talking.
And she has, by the way, started eating the salad.
Mm.
Oh man, I, did Triny make this? This I didn't even know we had kale.
They they glance at the basket which has more kale in it on the counter, and they just sign, "Don't worry about it."
She also does open up the PB and J because doesn't matter what, PB and J is a PB and J.
Fair enough. Um, so they'll let her eat for a while, and then they'll sign. Um, so I'm not a magic user myself, but you probably want to wait until someone's at home. Hopefully your brother. But I
I
suppose if this Miss Honeybottom is, you know, a good teacher, that also works.
I you see the moment that you mentioned magic using, uh, roll an insight check real quick. It's a very low insight check. Vic is not very good at hiding her emotions. Oh, wrong way.
Oh, hang on. I'm gonna do that forever. 16.
16. 16 gets you easily that the moment that you mention magic, Vic immediately goes like, I don't know what you mean. I I don't know how to do magic. That was from my science experiment.
Oh gosh.
And I'm gonna see if I can roll deception because she's supposed to be good at lying. Nope, that's not a plus 20. That is not a plus 20.
I was gonna say.
I meant to write a plus 6. That was a 12 plus 6. That's a 18.
Mm.
Um yeah, no. Even with a 16, you still get that she's nervous. She's definitely keeping something.
Mm-hmm. I think that the eyebrows go down a tiny bit. And uh they'll sort of rip at one of their own shreds of kale. Um, and I think that they're just gonna, be quiet for a bit. It says, um, gosh, what would they say?
If you don't say anything in particular for a bit, Vic would eventually say, "Okay, please don't tell China about it. I need to cover it up. Okay, but, I wasn't expecting what happened."
When you say that you don't even have to roll insight. They look at you and they actually look extremely concerned now. Like extremely concerned. Like it's they sign uh very slowly and very carefully. Um why does it need to be a secret?
Because China already has enough to worry about. He's working a lot to like just do this, and I don't want to worry him about anything like another thing. Please. I don't know what brought these powers on, okay? And she's actually gonna she will cast Mage Hand. And immediately upon the Mage Hand appearing, she uses it to pick up the PB&J and like take a bite out of it. And maybe actually, you know what I think? She does this nonchalantly. She doesn't even notice that she's doing it. Um and you see that the hand is super staticky, like
Mm.
made out of actual like static. I I don't know where they came from. I was tuning some radio stations like the other day, and this just happened. And he
Hmm.
takes another bite out of the PB&J that she's not holding in her hands.
TFC is just gonna, just kind of watch this for a sec, and then they'll sign. Well, admittedly, I don't know Triny as well as I would like, but I also know that he cares about you very dearly. I don't think he would be angry with you. I think that he would be perhaps a little bit concerned that you feel the need to keep um secrets from him in order to shield him, because I think that he very much thinks that that's his job.
It's not that I don't that I want to keep it from him. It's just he's way too busy. Like, here, let me show you. And she actually gets up from the chair as she finishes the PB&J, and the mage hand kind of goes away, uh, uh, and follows over to Triny's room.
They will follow.
Yeah. So immediately upon opening it, uh, it's okay. Triny lives in a mess. That's just how he is.
Mm. Yeah,
There's
they
yeah
probably
yeah
they probably visited his room on the cruise and like
yeah
had to step over shit and like climb on stuff
like you see there's a
like
whiteboard. You see this like there's a whiteboard somewhere, or like just a chalkboard with multiple writings upon it. There's coffee mugs laying everywhere. A couple of them are still half full. There's a coffee stain on the rug that's never really gotten out for whatever reason. There's a small closet that's built into the wall where Trying keeps most of his clothes, and like a small little corkboard with like all the strings. It's very similar to his cruise game uh, suite, except the on a much larger scale, because this is about 3 years of stuff that's piled up.
yeah, they kind of surveil this and they're like, yeah, that's really typical.
You're already stressing enough out as it is. I can't add more on top of that.
They look at um they look at Vic and they're gonna sign. Is it okay if I give you a hug?
Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah, they get a big ol' like a very grandparentish, just like very soft, very warm hug.
If
Not too
if it
long.
if TOC would allow it, Vic would pick them up and give him a hug too.
Yeah, it's good. And when the hug's over, they will sign. You are very good for trying to take care of your family. I think that you should be praised for that. But I think that um you might be misunderstanding your brother's wishes here.
She does look confused at that.
They'll sign. Well, do you think he's this busy because um or they'll start signing and then they'll stop and they'll walk into the room a little bit and they're gonna look for like Victrola stuff. Like like you know how there's like flyers for like summer camp stuff sometimes or like little like pamphlets.
Oh, you would
They're
find
gonna
yeah.
look.
Roll an investigation check, because this is a mess, and you'd probably get the idea that if you wanted to find that stuff, it'd probably be over on his desk.
Okay. They will. Where's your investigation? Here it is. $12.
12? 12? Oh, -1. Oh no. A 12 is enough. The most of that stuff like is on top. You see a couple of like there's flyers. There's a couple of notebooks that there's missing case like posters and stuff like that. Uh, Stuff like that. But there are a couple of like there's like a flyer specifically. There's a flyer for a summer camp called Camp Campin' in among other things.
Yeah, they'll pull out some of the Victrola stuff. And they'll bring it over to her and says, um, you being safe and you feeling secure and you having someone to rely on is what Triny is trying to achieve. I don't think that he would be pleased um to know that by doing all this he makes you feel like you can't you can't come with him if you have a problem, or you can't come to him if you have a problem.
You see, she actually like you grab the little Campin' and you bring it over to her, and like she holds it, and then as soon as you say these things, she kind of slumps down on the floor like against the wall, and it's just I know it's just look we're all how do I say this? I I don't want Tiny to stress himself. I I know he does it a lot. I know he's actually really stressed because I see it. He doesn't like showing it, but I do see it. I'll think about it.
They still next to her and sort of like give her just like a light little lean, just like they're there. And they'll sign, I won't tell him if you don't want me to. But and they actually they turn to face her and they say, Victrola, this sort of magic that comes with with bindings and comes with deals, it's not something to take lightly, and it's not something to do on your own. If you won't tell Triny, would you please promise me that you'll tell someone else that you trust? Me or another adult. Someone who can tell you what's happening, and what you can look forward to next as you're going through this.
I promise. I'll tell
Insight check.
someone. I'll tell someone. This is
Insight check.
yeah. You want a insight check? Go ahead. And one moment. I am gonna I am
17.
gonna I am gonna roll against it. That is sure is a fucking 9.
TOC knows this sort of person. The last one that the last one they interacted with was probably Jackie. The one before that was a freaking necromancer.
Okay, okay. You can definitely pick up that she doesn't want to. She really doesn't want to. She was hoping this wouldn't even come up, like, in front of anybody else.
Mm. Just getting a look.
Okay,
She
fine. I'll talk to the magic coaches at school and see what they can say. Okay. There's probably people who teach magic at the local schools. It's just a real
yeah.
yeah. Like there's sorcerers. People somebody's got to teach these kids how to use their powers correctly.
Yeah, when like when little kids can be, up to and beyond level 5 when they're going through elementary school, like the camp or like not the group the the student counselors probably have like at the very least some pamphlets like
So you got magic
nurse.
powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
God, now I'm thinking about that. Anyway,
yeah. I'll talk to one of the coaches at school and I'll see what they can do or see if they know what this is or where it came from because I don't even know where it came from.
hmm, no, they don't like that either. Um, but they'll sort of like uh sort of run their beak over her shoulder, sort of approvingly. Like, she doesn't have like hair or feathers to preen, but like sort of sort just that sort of little point of contact.
Hmm.
Uh, and they'll I think what they'll do is they'll ask, do you have roof access here?
Uh, actually, yes, we do. And uh, Victrola will walk over to one of the windows near the small living room that they have, and open it, and you see there's a catwalk.
Like a fire
Yeah,
escape?
like a fire escape.
Oh boy. Yeah, that seems fine.
I
Um,
I go up here sometimes to practice dancing because the apartment's a little too small.
yeah, they'll nod. And they'll I think that they'll actually step up and start climbing and see if she follows.
Yeah, Victrola will follow.
Yeah, they get onto the roof, and they find a spot that's well away from the edge,
Hmm.
like well away from the edge. Hopefully, there's
Yeah.
some sort of like small wall, something.
There's a little like there's probably like a little this like railing like it's indent like the roof is indented like it has a little railing that rises up a little bit and prevents people from like just falling over the edge.
Yeah. So they'll take out the trowel that they have slung across their back, and they'll just sort of like lean on it and regard her and say, "Okay, now you can practice."
Thank you. And she actually says thank you inside your head as she casts message.
Mm. They sort of pause, and for a sec, it sounds like, or it feels sort of like you might get like a reply back, but they hesitate too long, and the magic fades.
I will say that the message is also like you can hear that it's definitely Victrola's voice, but it's interlaced with a little bit of like that white noise that comes from radios.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it sounds like it's being broadcast.
exactly. But yeah, she'll sit around and she's gonna just I guess catch Eldritch blasts into the sky.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a light show.
yeah, they sort of just like they'll let her do that for a while. They uh they don't have any magic themselves other than the magic that all tunes have. Maybe you don't know. They haven't used any of it, but um, I think that like there's like a sort of a soundless shot if this was an actual cartoon of uh like Victrola jumping around and using magic, and then just kind of watching from the sidelines, just sort of being the chaperone.
Yeah. At some point, she will also like, okay, that's enough magic practice, and she will turn on her like, just like turn on her radio, and like you'll hear like music starting to play, and she'll actually do a little bit of ballet dancing.
Hmm.
She's still got to get her practice, and
Yeah.
I'll roll performance, uh, plus a 1d4 because she's casting guidance.
Oh boy.
hopefully that works. That's a 19. Pretty good
Mhm.
performance.
Yeah, you get a hearty clap from the chicken somehow. They're using their wings.
But yeah.
And throughout that, like they don't know dancing and they don't know magic, but like TOC does know how to like carry yourself in a fight, so to speak. So like all through the magic and all through the dancing, every once in a while they'll like sign something like when you're casting, don't lean forward. You're putting yourself
ah,
uh you're putting yourself off balance.
yes.
Or uh if she's having trouble with a twirl and they'll sort of watch for a while and be um like are you supposed to wobble? Is
No.
like they
So yeah, stuff like that.
yeah, like you know,
Yeah.
basically like control your center of gravity. If you're having trouble balancing, get a little bit lower, like, just like the basic like almost like they're starting to coach her on like fighting.
Yep. Wait, on fighting?
I mean, they don't know magic and they don't know like dancing,
Understandable. Understandable. Have a nice day. I mean,
but
that's
they do know how to like jump around and be like dexterous when people are throwing punches at you.
her fighting style is probably very dancey, anyways, and loose. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, uh, I would eventually think that they make their way down back to the fire escape. I'm guessing it's starting to turn nighttime. Um, eventually,
Yeah.
there's a little like ping at the door as a certain TV headed tune walks in and just says, and like you see, he's actually I'm not even gonna, I don't even know what happened to him, but he's a little charred somehow. He says a little bit of Steve smoke coming from him. You do see the little marking that you made on him when you scratch him. That's still there because he has chosen that it's part of his design now. Um,
Aw.
yeah, it is. Anyways, and you see he walks into the kitchen where I think you guys would meet up again. He's like, TOC?
As soon as they hear the keying at the door, they're gonna like sort of disengage from whatever they're doing with Victrola. And oh, okay, my cat just walked on my keyboard. Um, and they're just gonna turn towards the doorway and cross their little wings and just like sort of put on a tableau of like, "Welcome home, idiot." They don't actually say that, but it's
Yeah,
heavily implied.
yeah. And the funny thing is, he walks in and he says TOC, and then immediately you also hear like somebody at the door say, "Well, hello, Miss Victrola. It's me, Miss Honeybot. I'm coming in to visit you. I'm supposed to be here at 8 p.m. instead of 8 a.m. Oh." It's just he got confused on the time. uh, but yeah, unless there's anything else you want to say or do,
Think of it. I mean, TFC is definitely going to be just like, just like, I can't believe I have to tell you this, but like, you can't just leave like a small child in an apartment alone.
I wasn't. Miss Honeybottom was here. I was supposed to watch over her. Thank you, Miss Honeybottom. You're free to go home. How much do I owe you, TSC?
They look slightly offended, and they're going to ignore that.
Oh no, that's not what he meant. He was like, he just like, you shouldn't have had to do this. I'm so sorry. He's apologetic.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be like, you're you're a little bit of a moron, but they're not gonna go too tough on him.
Okay.
And I think that rather than like answering the how much do I owe you, they're just gonna be like, so I made a salad. The leftovers in the fridge, and also there's a big basket on the thing. Yes, you do have to take it because I planted way too much. This is what we did today. We went up on the roof and did a little bit of dancing practice. Then we came back down and we talked a little bit more. Um, like just kind of giving him like the babysitting, like the rundown.
Yeah.
You know how you do. Um,
Victrola sitting in the background, just like twiddling thumbs, like just on the kitchen table, just acting as if nothing's wrong.
yeah, and I think they do finish up with like I would like to get home before night, and I'm sure that Victrola has a lot to tell you about today. Um, and they're not they kind of just subtly turn towards her so that they can tell that she's also signing that for her benefit. Um, but yeah, they just sort of yeah.
Thanks again, Theosi. Um, feel free to come visit anytime. I'm sorry I wasn't able to catch it today. Uh,
They
Trying,
nod.
yeah.
Um,
Go
and
ahead.
they'll
Sorry.
sign. It's all right. I'll come back another day. It was good to get to meet your sister. And if you need a babysitter, like me and Juniper, you remember Juniper from the letters. Uh, like we don't mind, coming over for an afternoon.
I might take you up on that.
Mm.
Uh, and I mean, I guess with that, Theosi heads out. I guess.
Yeah, they'll make sure, Trini gets a hug, Vic gets a hug,
Mm-hmm.
and, a very comforting, just sort of like good luck pat. Like
Yeah.
they don't want to overstay their welcome, and they do want to, get home in time to like go to bed when they usually do, which is depressingly early. But yeah, they make sure that it's on good terms.
Oh yeah. Triny graciously accepts the hug and eventually heads back inside. And yeah, that
Yeah,
was yeah. Unless there's anything else, I think that was pretty good.
yeah, I feel small but perfectly formed.
Yeah.
Thank you
Plus
for
we have
listening, everybody.
yeah. Thank you for listening, everybody. We gotta wrap up because we only have an hour before we gotta finish this. So yeah, to finish this. But yeah, I hope everybody had fun listening. Uh, yeah, I have another FPS to do tonight, so that'll be
Oh
fun.
boy,
Yeah, it's another Victrola FPS. There you go. All right.
nice.
But yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording now. Bye, everyone.